If you haven't been following the teasers for the Winter Update 2023, this video will help to get up to date with everything that is coming on this update. Starting with the new quest. The first one is a continuation to an existing quest, The Adventures of Galten and the Gold City, which now is getting a part 2. This extension to the quest comes with the second add-on of the Ancient Ochre of it, making it possible to finish it now. A new boss of medium difficulty, solvable by mid-levels and easier to do as a team. And perhaps more interesting is the new items associated with this boss, the Stoic X items. These add 2 pieces of equipment per vocation, and each item comes with a new feature that adds augments to spells, some better than others, but the idea itself is promising. And since they still have elemental protections, then it can be good alternatives to have for some spawns. Besides that, it also unlocks a new area of Ixupan with 3 new creatures, with a difficulty similar to Borre Cathedral. Now, moving on to the main quest of the update, and a controversial one, the 20 Years a Cook quest. Even though this is the main quest, the reception has been weird about it. And it's because some of the missions through it are playing around with some of the quests that remain a mystery to this date, such as the Sword of Fury and Serpentine Tower, and some people didn't take it too well, but in reality, the quest is meant to be a bit of a meme and shouldn't be taken too serious, although it doesn't mean the rewards are bad. Finishing the quest gives you the base of the new outfit, the Raccoon Herald, but more importantly is the access to 2 new spawns. Both of them are massive spawns with high density of monsters. The Bull Tower layer seems more inclined towards a profit spawn with mid XP, and it comes with 3 different creatures. The Nimmersaw spawn is inclined towards XP on par with Isabi, but with very little loot, and also 3 new creatures on it. Besides that, it also has 7 mini bosses, and out of those, 1 has loot that includes more new items. The other 6 bosses don't leave any loot and are not included on the bestiary. As for the new items, each vocation gets an armor piece, and just like the X items, these also come with the feature of a spell augments, which is definitely a step in the right direction. Although the bonuses are a bit underwhelming, I hope they continue to introduce items like that. But moving on to the new features, the Exaltation Forge is getting 2 new options. The first one allows to move the tier of an item class 4 to another one without losing this tier. So instead of losing 1 tier with the transfer, you can keep the same tier but at a much higher cost, and also a new way of fusion, which can merge 2 different items as long as they are on the same equipment slot. So for example, a Cobra Club tier 3 with a Cobra Axe tier 3. Lastly, a new piece of equipment is being included in the Forge, the legs. The bonus for them is called Transcendence, and it has a small chance of turning into your avatar form for 7 seconds. Next up, the Hirelings Cooks will give you an option to buy the specific dish you want for a price of 90k, which in theory was the average it will cost you at 15k per dish, but keep in mind that by buying it directly, you don't get the extra foods. Another new feature expands into the Container Management tab, where now you will be able to select which backpacks you want equipment pieces and others to go. So, switching around your equipment will stop sending your set into the first backpack if you select a new one. Next up, this one was already introduced before the update, but was announced in the teasers, and it's a small buff to 4 world bosses, Ferumbras, Orshobo, Morgaroth, and Gasparan. They start off with a high resistance, and over a few seconds they start to take more damage until back to normal. This change allows people to be able to get their attacks in for the bestiary to count, but other than that, it didn't change much. Highest damage dealers will still win it, with perhaps a bit more luck involved. Lastly, a new addition to the Wheel of Destiny, the Gem Atelier. This one requires its own separate video, which I highly recommend to check, but the short version is that each side of the wheel got the slices with elemental resistance swapped for a slot to put a gem in. These gems are new drops from influence monsters, archfoe bosses, and fiendish creatures. They come in 3 different sizes, and they have many possible combinations of buffs, going from the basic elemental resistance all the way to augment to spells. And that's all there is for this update. Overall, it will be dependent on how the new spawns go. In paper, they look good enough, but some actual testing needs to be done. Most of the features are great additions, although most of the Forge stuff remains pretty meaningless for the vast majority of players. If you like the content, consider subscribing or supporting further with TCs to Gudii donation. Thank you for watching, and a special thanks to Tuna Hero, Night Star, and Thor the Slasher.